Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Countdown. And this film, I saw the trailers, I'm like, this will probably be a garbage horror movie dropped in October for, Halloween. And it had some moments, but overall was kind of a mess. And Justin Deck he's the writer and director of this. This film feels stretched out at an hour and 30 minutes because it feels like there's just these added layers to things that let's throw in some more characters, and it's just like this film could have been a race to finish an intense thrill ride like that, but they keep adding in all these subplots, and all these subplots, some make sense, some make sense, they're just horribly done. And there's this one particular subplot about our main character, who is played by Elizabeth Lail, who actually does a fine job in this film. She does a fine job carrying this film. And her supervisor, because she's a nurse, he's a doctor, and Peter Facinelli, horrible performance. It is so fake and horrible, and this subplot is horrible and comes out of nowhere and is just so obnoxious over the top, and they find ways for this to be important to the story, and it just really isn't. And it's just like, why is this even in here? Could have trimmed like 10-15 minutes off of this. Like, this could have just been like a zoop thrill ride, but like, why? And it's poorly done, and that's the issue, because you can't even get past, like, Elizabeth Lail does a fine job in this film carrying this as the lead, but those subplots just are awful. And this film has a really bad tonal issues. And this film, for the first third, is a serious horror movie. Like, the first third of this movie, like even this opening sequence that sets things up, it's a bunch of dumb teenagers, it's bad dialogue, and there's some really horrible continuity issues in shots. Like, this girl's walking down the street, and it shoots back to her, and she's walking down this long block, and then the camera shoots back to looking at her, shoots back, and it's at a corner. She's like, when this girl turned the corner? And usually a lot of film goers aren't going to see that, but that just caught my attention. I'm just like, what? And then she pours water, and it's just this murky, disgusting water, and I'm like, okay, this is probably part of it. She's going to drink and like freak out. No, and then it cuts, and then it's clear water from another shot. I'm like, okay, I'm out of this already. You're doing a really bad job. And with continuity issues that bad, it takes you out of the movie, there's a problem. But this thing acts so serious, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's make this a Sam Raimi horror movie. Feel like Drag Me to Hell, and it's just like over the top, ridiculously silly. Jokes start flying everywhere. PJ Burns in this, playing a priest, and he's so over the top that it's like, some people are going to find him funny. I thought he was kind of annoying and just felt so out of place in this film. But Tom Segura, who plays this just random tech guy at a cell phone place, is hilarious. And I'm like, why is this random guy the best part of this movie? Like, he legitimately made me laugh. Like, he was so dry and sarcastic. And then there's, like, jumping in this, like, she meets up with this other guy who wasn't set up at all, but then they have these shared experiences, and, like, it feels so rushed in so many places, but it seems so packed with so many subplots. And, like, I laughed. Some of the scares were decently effective. It was creepy. But a lot of it are just horrible jump scares that are predictable and telegraphed, and it's just like, okay, why? And this film had some moments, but in the end felt kinda just, and even the ending feels kind of like a cop-out on its own rules, and just like, I don't buy that. But how it could have ended felt a little too dark for how this film's tone had shifted. I'm just like, feels like a mess. Countdown's a mess. Those are my thoughts. Comment below. Let's talk some movies. And thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.